Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I did a full face of Chanel makeup last month and got a lot of good response from it. I really enjoy doing full face videos. I had quite a bit, all but like 2 things from Dior to do a full face, so I got those 2 things and am going to put this look together for y'all today using all Dior beauty products. The only thing I don't have is a mascara, but everything else is Dior. I have swatches, talk about why I love the products, and I also just ordered the brand new Glow Blush and Glow Duo. I got one of those, and then I got the brand new foundation stick. So stay tuned for some reviews of those as I get them in and use them. Y'all know me. I will not be doing a first impression of the foundation stick. I will have to use it quite a few times to get my full thoughts, but I will definitely let y'all know. So if you want to know my thoughts and how I put together this face using all Dior, let's jump in. I don't have a corrector from Dior, so I just put a little bit of my dermatology corrector underneath my eyes. I honestly don't even know if they have a corrector. If I'm missing it, let me know. But we're going to start out with complexion today because eyes are, shocker, very simple. And I'm going to start using this. So this is something that may not even be noticeable by the time the look is finished. So I'm not using it for that aspect, but I'm more so using it to show you what it looks like on the skin. This is the newer Forever Glow Star Filter. This comes in 10 shades and it retails for $55. I'm in the shade number 2. I could probably get away with 3 as well, but 2 definitely works. And this is basically their version of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, the e.l.f. Halo Glow, that kind of very sheer color, sometimes blurring highlighter that has a variety of uses. You can use this underneath foundation like I'm going to use it today. You can mix it in with your foundation to give something that may be a little more matte, a little more glow to it. You can put it on top of your foundation as a liquid highlight. It says it blurs, smooths, and brightens and keeps the skin hydrated for 24 hours. I do not recommend wearing any makeup for 24 hours, but I think that's just their marketing way of saying it's hydrating as well. This is the shade number 2. I'm just gonna put this on my skin on the high points. Again, it's probably not gonna show up in the final look, but if I were to use this by itself, this is what it would look like on the skin. So I'm just gonna take my BK Beauty 101 brush and place it where I would any other liquid highlight. But I'm gonna go over my nose, on the cheekbones. I'm wearing the Polish Choice Vitamin C SPF, so it has no coverage to it. And I started out with a little bit of a glow anyways, honestly, but that definitely added some to my skin. To me, there's so many videos on how this compares to the Charlotte Tilbury. It has a little bit less coverage in my opinion than the Charlotte Tilbury, but around the same finish. It's not glittery, it has no shimmer in it, it's just a nice sheen and glow on the skin. I put 2 pumps on my hand and I have no idea why. I definitely only needed 1, but I have used it by itself underneath the powder that I'm gonna use today. I like it that way. I have mixed it in with foundations, I like it that way, and I like it the way I'm using it today. But I don't think you necessarily need it if you already have the Charlotte Tilbury or the e.l.f. product, unless you just want it, but they are very similar. As far as foundation, I'm gonna be using the Forever Natural Nude. Now there are a lot of different Forever foundations in the line. This is $57 and it comes in 23 shades. I am in the shade 2.5N. They have cool, warm, and neutral undertones. This has a natural luminous finish and it does contain fragrance, as most things do. I don't think I could see a fragrance in the Forever Glow ingredients. However, most of the Dior products do have fragrance in them. I feel like that's pretty par for the course for luxury lines. And this states that it has 96% natural ingredients. That does not necessarily do it for me. That is not why I purchase products. There are a lot of natural ingredients that my skin doesn't like. So to say it's 96% natural is not necessarily a pro in my book. It's not necessarily a con, but it doesn't really make or break whether or not I'm going to buy something. So let's try this. Now, I think it was here's the thing. I tried one, I think it was the Forever Matte. I didn't love it. It didn't cling to certain areas of my face, no matter how hard I worked with it. But that may have been before they've been doing a lot of reformulations over at Dior lately, and that might have been before the reformulation. This one, however, the Natural Nude, they also have a Luminous. This is 2.5 in. I actually really like this one. I'm gonna use my Anissa Pinnacle Foundation brush, start on my redness, and then just kind of blend it out from there. Because while that Forever Glow did not have a ton of coverage, at least compared to the Charlotte Tilbury, it did have some. So I don't really feel like I need to add a ton more coverage where I don't need it. So I'm really just gonna focus on my redness and make sure my color is evened out. Again, this does have a fragrance. It is not, to me, it's not the typical Dior fragrance. So I don't know if it's because of all the extracts that is in this product as well that's kind of making it lean a little different, or if they're just using a different fragrance now. I put 2 pumps on my hand, and they're very small pumps. You know, some foundations pump out a large amount of product. This one is kind of those mini pumps, and I didn't even use that much. So again, when I'm using that glow product underneath, I don't feel like I even need a full 2 pumps. When I'm not, I will probably end up using 2 pumps, but that's it. It's just got a very pretty finish on the skin. You still see that glow coming through. Once I powder it down, it's not gonna be this glowy. If you're someone that likes very dewy finishes and you don't wanna powder down, I still think this will work for you, especially with that glow underneath. I'd say it's a solid medium coverage. I've had no issues with the wear. I enjoy it. And while there is fragrance and I can smell it while applying it, I do not smell it anymore. It's not something that lingers throughout the day. Let's talk about changing our minds. I've been doing a lot of that lately, and it's just a good reminder of me that the phrase never say never could not be more true, because a lot of the things that I did not like 2 to 3 to 4 years ago, I am liking now. And I'm sure it's because my skin is changing, and maybe it's not. Maybe it's just miraculously they started working for me and I'm changing my ways. Whatever it is, this concealer was something I did not like when I first tried it. I bought it again. I have been using it and I like it a lot more. It's just wearing better on me. The Forever Skin Correct Concealer. And I remember when I first got this and didn't like it, everybody was singing its praises. And I'm like, look, I just don't like it. I don't know what's wrong with me. But now I'm kind of seeing why people were singing its praises. This retails for $40 and it comes in 30 shades. I am in the shade 2N. This is definitely a concealer that is marketed to use not only under your eyes, but all over the face. And I could probably get away with this shade all over. Again, another marketing of 24-hour wear and hydration. It says it's a full coverage concealer. It claims to not settle into any fine lines, and it claims to be heat and humidity resistant. And again, it does have fragrance. It has a little bit of a bigger doe foot than most concealers, and I think that is because it is marketed for all over the face, not just under the eyes. And I'm just gonna take a couple of dots where I am the darkest. I'm gonna pat it in with my BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy 506 brush, but I'm not gonna fully blend it out, and I'm really gonna concentrate where my darkness is the most. Even though it's 2N and the foundation was 2.5 in, I find that the concealer is a little bit more yellow. I wouldn't necessarily call it a warm yellow, but it's definitely not a full-on neutral. I've let it sit there some, and so then I'm just gonna take the BK Beauty 109 and kind of blend out those edges and press it in, and also have it kind of pick up any product I don't need. Less is more. Every single day I put makeup on, I'm realizing less is more. I set with the Pat McGrath Under Eye Setting Powder, and now I'm gonna go on to the powder that I'm gonna use today. They used to have a whole backstage collection of powders and bronzers, and I remember semi-liking that powder, but it really got hard pan quick, and I had to use a spoolie on it quite often to kind of remove the hard pan and be able to pick up product. I don't think they carry those anymore. I'm actually gonna be using a powder foundation. This is the Dior Forever Natural Velvet in 2.5 neutral. So again, I'm in that 2N, 2.5 in shade range. This is a refillable compact, so you can buy just the refills. It comes in 16 shades and it retails for $60. Again, with the 24-hour wear, it says it's their first transfer-proof compact matte foundation, composed with 90% natural origin ingredients. It does come with a puff. I don't typically love using these sponges, but you can see it has been used, and I'm gonna use it today, show you how I've been incorporating this. This is the shade 2.5N. And I do find that it oxidizes a bit on the skin. So while it looks lighter than what I'm wearing now, it gets darker when you apply. So think about that if you're choosing colors. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on this sponge, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to really concentrate this on the middle of my face. So you can automatically see how that took down that shine. And I'm gonna really concentrate it on my chin, in between my brows. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is where I A, want the most coverage, and B, want the least amount of shine to come through. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a powder brush. This is the Anissa multi-use powder brush. And I'm just gonna pick up a little and go around the rest of my face, smooth out the edges of where I use the sponge, but also add a little bit of powder to where I hadn't had it yet. This powder does have more of a matte finish. However, you still see some of that sheen coming through. It is not flat matte at all, but it's also not super heavy. So I'll do a close-up so you can see what it looks like on the skin. So I've got 3 layers of product with that glow, the liquid foundation, and the powder, but it still is very pretty. Let's talk about bronzer. This is one of my newest Dior additions to my collection, and I quite honestly think I got the wrong color. I love this compact. It's one of my favorite compacts that I own. This is the Forever Natural Bronze. This cushiony, beautiful compact. It's a little bit raised, and it does have a cushion feel to it with the Christian Dior logo. And again, I got tan bronze. This is showing up in the viewfinder way warmer than it is. It is a very neutral, almost cool tone bronzer, and it doesn't show up a ton on my skin. Still gonna use it. I'm gonna use my Jones Road bronzer brush. And I'm not saying I don't like the finished look when I use this, because I do, but it just is so subtle that sometimes, I mean, I can see a little bit that I just applied, but sometimes I wonder if it shows up at all. But we can kind of add on to this with the next couple of steps. And the next step is blush. I have a couple of the old formulations of their Rouge blush. This is Charnel. And again, they've reformulated these, so I'm not gonna use these. I don't know if the shades are the exact same. I use these often myself and still love them. This is in New Look. So definitely peachier and definitely bronzier. Again, love both of them. I just can't promise they're the same even colors because I haven't tried the new ones. These, however, are available in the same formulation. These are the Rosy Glow blushes. They originally came out with just Rosy Glow, which is that very vibrant Barbie pink. I actually don't have that one. I have these 3 shades, which I will swatch for you, and I will insert them. The first one is Rosewood, which I've talked about forever. This is just a beautiful, neutral, rosy toned, gorgeous blush. It does have more of a pink undertone, but it is definitely more neutral. It's not Barbie by any means, and it's a bit deeper. And then I have Poppy Coral, which is such a beautiful coral, pop of coral shade. I mean, the name could not be more appropriate. And then the one I'm gonna use today is called Bronzed Glow, which you can see in the swatch is very aptly named. It is very bronze. I love all 3 of these. I have used all 3 of these on my eyes. I love them as eyeshadows. This one especially, the Bronze Glow, as a one and done, oh, so pretty. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this as a blush. Even though my eyes are gonna be more cool toned and my lips are gonna be more cool toned, I'm gonna show you how this works no matter what. And I'm choosing to use this because I want to add a little bit more bronze shade to my cheeks, since that bronzer definitely pulls cooler. Putting just a touch of this on, and I'm even gonna put it on my forehead. Y'all, I have to turn the fan on. It is so hot. So that gives a little bit more of a bronzed effect on the skin while also livening up my cheeks with some color too. The blushes run for $40 and they come in 9 different shades. There are no fragrance in the blushes that I could detect, and they say they react to your skin's pH. I find that the color is true to whatever is in the compact. Now for highlight, even though I definitely don't need it, I'm going to show it because this is one of my favorite products that I have in my kit. This is the Dior Backstage Universal Glow Palette. This comes in 2 different shades, and this is, let me see my notes, $48. And it comes in 4 different shades: blush toppers, bronzer toppers, blush colors, highlighters, depends on your skin tone. I use these 2 the most for highlight. I use this a lot for blush topper, and I use this a lot on the eyes on my clients. This gold one I'm about to hit pan on, but I'm just gonna mix these 2, the white and the gold, just lightly, because this is very, very glowy. And again, I don't really need much, but I wanted to show it. I couldn't do a full face of Dior and not include this palette. But that is the complexion. Now we will get on to the eyes, which as promised are going to be very, very easy. And I'm going to feature one of my new favorites to my collection in general. We know how I've been loving a 1 color eye lately, a single shadow look. And these Dior mono color shadows are so beautiful. I featured one of them in my single shadow era video. I have since added 3 more to my collection. These are $35. They come in 20 shades and they have different finishes. There's matte, there's glitter, there is metal metallic, and there is satin. And I will cut away 2 swatches. The 2 satin shades that I have are Nude Dress, which is a gorgeous bronzy shade, and Tulle, which looks more champagne in the compact, but when you swatch it, it's more of a peachy champagne, which is even better in my opinion, because that is really what I gravitate towards. And then I have 2 metal metallic shades. There's Rose Tulle, so it is a little bit of a shinier version of Tulle, but pink. And then there is Beige Mitza, which is a taupish, beige, kind of gray, slightly metallic shade. And this is the one that I featured in my single shadow era video. Now for today, I'm gonna use the Rose Tulle because I wanted to go cooler. It comes with a little shadow brush, which I typically don't use. However, I have been using this to kind of lay the first layer onto the eye. I don't really know that it makes a difference. It's just what I've been doing. And since this is the only shadow I'm using, I am going a little bit up into the crease, not a ton because this has some shimmer in it, but just a little bit. So I lay down that first kind of layer and then I'll take a brush. Again, I don't know if it really matters. It's just how I've been doing it. The brush definitely adds more pigment and shimmer to the eye. They're just so pretty, and there's not a single one of them that I've seen that would not make a beautiful single shadow look. I definitely want to add more. There's one glitter one called Amber Star that looks beautiful. Really, they just all look pretty. Rose Montaigne looks pretty. There's some matte ones that I really like. Super easy. One and done, out the door. Looks good. One of the other reasons that I chose to use the pink one is because I'm using a new eyeliner, and this is the Dior Show Stylo Cream Waterproof Creamy Eyeliner Pen. This is in the shade Matte Green. I am a sucker for green. It is my favorite color. That is it right there. Hopefully it's coming across as green on the camera as it is in real life. I love green and pink, hence the shirt. So I thought this would be a perfect shirt to wear with this look since we are doing green and pink on the eyes. This is $34 and comes in 16 shades. The reason I like this, in comparison to another green liner that I have for Make Beauty, which I also like, is because this still says it's waterproof and it does last a long time on the eyes, but it has some playtime. A lot of times when I'm working with waterproof eyeliners, I don't get that playtime. Make Beauty being an example. When I put that down, it is not budging. I cannot smudge it out. I cannot smoke it out. I cannot do anything with that liner. it is not coming off. This I have a little bit of playtime with, so I really like that. And again, it does last forever. I have not put up to its waterproof claims. I haven't had a reason yet to cry with this on or be, you know, stuck in the rain, but it does have a nice longevity to it. And again, some playtime. So I can get that smudged out look, which I love on the upper. I have been foregoing things on the lower. However, I just love a colored liner on the lower. So I'm gonna put just a little bit and then smudge that out to give more of a color to my eye. I really like this liner. I like this eye look in general. This is the 3rd day in a row that I've done this exact eye look because I love it. One thing I do not have from Dior is a mascara. I have used the Dior mascaras before, and quite honestly, I have never been blown over by any of them. I used to use the mascara primer a lot, like on repeat. I haven't used that in ages. I got the Dior show sometime last year, maybe the beginning of this year. It's super, super natural. Like, it's great if you want like a no makeup look, at least on me, but it wasn't quite bam enough, especially for a look like this. So I'm gonna go off camera and use my Chantecaille mascara, and then we will finish up with lips and fragrance. Mascara on. Now to lips. I only have one Dior lip product. I love their, is it their lip oils? The lip glosses. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. I love those. This one is the Lip Glow Color Reviver Balm, and this is in the shade Pink. This is $40 and it has 20 shades. Let me see what it says. 97% natural origin ingredients. Glow for 6 hours. I don't know about that. Infused with cherry oil, and it does have added fragrance. This does have a glow to it. So much so that as a lip gloss girl, I don't find the need to add a gloss on top of this, but the glow does not last 6 hours. The product does not last 6 hours. It's a lip balm. It feels good. It's hydrating. I like the shade. If you know my kind of lip preferences and have a favorite in Dior that you think I would like, please list it down below. Now, one of the reasons I love shopping on the Dior website, they do have a new like loyalty type program. I haven't gotten enough to see what I get from that, but that's one perk. And another perk is the samples that come with your order that you may not be able to get at other retailers. The last time I ordered, I got this nice deluxe sample of the Gris Dior. I have quite a few decants of these Dior Prestige fragrances, the Dior Privé line. I'm not exactly sure what they call it. I have Taupe Color. I have Vanilla Diorama. What else? I've smelled quite a few of the other ones. I had never smelled Gris Dior. So when I got it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like it. I like it, and I am very surprised I like it because this is a rose scent. However, it also has oak moss and patchouli in it, and I think the combination of that makes it more of like a woody rose versus a fresh from the pit garden rose, which I really don't tend to like. A lot of people say that this smells like old to them. It smells more like nostalgic to me. I don't feel like I'm older than I am when I wear it. I just feel like I smell good. These are very expensive. They have recently gone up in price, as a lot of the perfume houses have. And I'm not quite sure how much the full bottle is. And it doesn't last a long time on the skin. I probably get a few hours before I can't smell it anymore. But another reason to order from the Dior site, because this is going to last me a while. I purchased another order and I added another one because I love it. I could put this into a spray bottle, which I might. I do really like it. It's just an elevated woody rose fragrance. So that's it. That is my full face of Dior makeup. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know your favorites from Dior. Let me know other brands you want to see full faces of. I really like compiling these videos. I have another full face of Chanel coming because I've gotten some new products from them as well. So stay tuned for that. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any of those future videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.